Welcome to the weekend, but it's a very special Friday because it is the 1st of October. This is also a very special episode because this is episode 295 of what? The show that will not ever go away. I am James, you are you. We are here for another breathtaking, thrill-seeking, heart-pounding edition of At Home with James. It is October 1st, as previously mentioned only seconds ago, which for many means the beginning of spooky season, also known as scary season, also known as the season of the witch, also known as the month of Halloween. And as you can tell, I am doing my best to get into the spirit of things. Now, for anyone visiting this show for the first time, I would not really consider myself much of a Halloween fan. Decoration is nice. I like the fall season. Hey, I went to Starbucks today and had an apple crisp macchiato, and the only thing scary about it was the price that I paid for a small. But when we think about fear and we think about thrills and tension, of course, being created, people don't really think Halloween and think expensive coffees. What they think about is witches and ghosts and goblins and O.J. Simpson, things like that. So what I'm going to do over the next month is really do what I can to get into the spirit of things. But here's the thing. I thought I did a pretty good job in 2020. Of course, I didn't have decoration, but, we talked about creepy movies and Halloween costumes. We even had a pumpkin carving contest. I thought that I would follow that trend throughout the month of October. That is, until I received a letter in my inbox. Now, I was not initially going to share this with people, but I felt compelled to for a couple reasons. One, I like to be a transparent host, but two, I think it's important to share this email because it's shocking as much as it is funny. So if you'll afford me a moment, I'm going to open the show's inbox and read this letter. And it goes as follows. Hello, James. To begin, I hope this message finds you well. With that said, I must confess to you that I initially had no real intention of sending you this email. As time passed, I knew that I could no longer keep my feelings to myself. I'm sure that you are wondering what it is that I am talking about, so I won't beat around the bush any longer. You deserve the truth, and a hard truth at that. Recently, you revealed that Halloween-based programming would be making a return to this year's edition of October on At Home. You insisted that it would be as comprehensive as last year's October episodes. I must admit that upon hearing that, I was taken aback. I was specifically surprised because your tone implied that last year's episodes were a celebration of the Halloween season. Frankly, the episodes were half-hearted, unenthused, and disappointing. If 2020 was you showing effort, then I would hate to see what they would look like had you not tried at all. Disgusting. Halloween has always been an important time for my friends, family, and myself. Watching you stumble through your own show apathetically left my Halloween spirit dwindling like the flame inside of a jack-o'-lantern that had been left out in the rain. I'll be damned if I let you do this to me again. I'm not joking. Read this very carefully, you MFer. I am effing serious. Do not mess this up. So help me God, I will get my Ouija board out from the closet, conjure up the spirit of your old man so he can come back to life and give you the effing spanking you deserve on that bony little A of yours. And if he doesn't, I will, you Halloween-hating son of a B. In closing, do better and be better. Signed, Devin, production assistant. Now, I know that at times people that work on this show, they tend to bring up some of their problems or conundrums to me. And I thought that Devin and myself had the type of relationship where he could maybe, send something in our production Discord, things like that. He sent an email to our show inbox, and I can't tell if I should be worried for my life or not. So in addition to Starbucks prices, I am also fearful of our very own production assistant, Devin. Now, as you can tell, I have taken heed to those words, and tonight I bring you the first ever at-home jack-o'-lantern. As I mentioned, we will be doing another pumpkin carving contest featuring last year's legendary loser, Joe Conto. That will be on the 29th of October, right here on a Friday in a few weeks' time. But I thought, if I want to, how should I put this, remain living and not be murdered or spanked on my A by Devin, it's really time that we kick things off in high fashion. So tonight is officially October the 1st, but on the show, it is Choctober. Now, if you're wondering what Choctober means, it is the combination of the words chocolate and October, because you can't have Halloween without candy. And of course, you can't talk about candy without the elite of the candy, chocolate. So I have gone to great lengths to put together a true all-star panel to discuss everything that is chocolate and chocolate bars. So without any further ado, I would like for you watching at home to stand up and begin saluting our cast that is comprised of Jess Fildes, Ariel De Roo, Dimitri Kyres, and Monika Schneider. To all of you, I say thank you for being here tonight as the sounds of chocolate rain upon us. Not traditionally a Halloween tune, but tonight it is. Let's begin. Ariel, how are you doing on this fine October 1st evening?
Doing great. I'm wearing a Halloween shirt.
Okay, so let's see this. Creep it real, and I'm going to assume it says at the bottom, good.
No, just a hand.
Oh, so see, now I thought it was a bit of a keep it real good, almost like push it real good, like salt and pepper, but this is creep it real, like keep it real.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I'm glad to see that you've shown up in fashion. Jess, let's go to you. How are you feeling tonight?
Good. I'm also wearing a Halloween.
Oh, yay.
All right, so let's see your Halloween shirt. So you've got Mike Myers, because I have a casual relationship with this deranged murderer. You got Michael Myers. Monika, how are you doing tonight? And are you wearing a Halloween shirt?
I'm doing great. No, I am wearing my football jersey from 9th grade touch football in high school.
Well, can we see it?
You sure can.
All right. Well, a lot of horror movies often feature the captain of a football team. Ooh, spooky. Dimitri, how are you doing tonight? And are you wearing a spooky shirt?
I'm doing well, and I'm wearing something really spooky under this shirt.
Oh, yourself.
Yes!
Oh my goodness! This is so spooky that it might infringe on the terms and services of Twitch.
It's not my feet, we're good.
Getting kicked off of Twitch, that scares me. I don't believe that I'm wearing anything spooky under here. No, I've got, this is real spooky. It's a generic white shirt, like a ghost. Well, time is of the essence. Now, I'm curious to know, I want to ask each of you a very simple question. When you found out that I had invited you on the show tonight to discuss chocolate bars, what were your immediate reactions? So, Monika, let's start with you. Your immediate reaction.
Coffee crisp.
So your immediate reaction wasn't, what is this? You're thinking coffee crisp. Now
that's what came in my mind, and it was exciting.
Coffee crisp. Okay, Dimitri, your immediate reaction, because I told you about this yesterday.
Chocolate fondue. A nice chocolate fondue, hot.
All right, drink up. Ariel, your immediate reaction.
Oh, I thought it was a joke.
You thought it was a joke. Okay, so Monika thought of a bar. Dimitri thought of a melted version of the sweet treat. You thought that I was joking. All right. Now, Jess, let's go to you. What was your immediate reaction?
I believe my response was to then ask you a million questions and if I was supposed to do research.
Yeah. And this is something that a couple of you mentioned, and I said, don't really put much thought to it, because I think the more prepared you go in, the more difficult this is. Now, it's also important to acknowledge, Jess, that every time you come on this show, I announce you as someone who does not particularly enjoy being on this program, as you often decline appearances. Except for tonight, when you explicitly told me that you are excited to be on this show, and it's because of Halloween, right?
It's true. It's my favorite month of the year.
Favorite month of the year. Now, I want to quickly navigate into this. Ariel, also a Halloween fan, correct or incorrect?
Oh, big time.
Okay, now does the candy play a part in that?
Not now, really.
Not now, but it did when you were a youngster, right?
Yeah. Of course,
All right.
it was the main deal.
All right, so Dimitri, let's go to you. A Halloween fan?
Yeah, I really like Halloween. There's good specials on TV, like the Treehouse of Horror is always really fun, and then the parties are always the best.
Right, and we've confirmed on this show that Halloween is sexy.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about that tonight, so I want you to keep your trouser snake in those pants, unlike your tummy that we saw earlier. So look, we're going to have a sexy Halloween episode at some point.
We better.
You calm down. Now, Monika, are you a Halloween fan?
I am. I really like it a lot.
Okay, now, does the candy play a part? We talked about this off air, but please.
Right. Not
Recapitulate for us.
anymore.
All right, okay, so that's the answer. Not anymore.
But it's exciting when it shows up unannounced.
Okay, when it
And then I get
shows up
past it.
unannounced, and I would say that I agree with this. There was a time back at Montreal Improv, not to be confused with Montreal Improv, when we would often have candy hanging around after just for laughs and things like that. I would find myself nibbling on a mini Kit Kat or a mini Snickers bar, things like that. But again, we're not here to totally discuss Halloween, but it would be incorrect to introduce this to our Halloween programming and not do it. So I want for us to really get into our time machine and go back as a youngster, right? So we're going to talk about trick-or-treating a little bit. Were there any chocolates? Now, again, we could talk about Ruffles and Rockets and jellies and knickknacks and doodads. Maybe you even got old loose peanuts like I did as a youngster. Were there any chocolate bars that really stood out to you as a kid, whether you were walking around with your little plastic pumpkin pail or a big pillowcase? What spoke to us?
Coffee crisp.
Coffee crisp. Okay, so Monika, is it fair to say that's your number one?
Without thinking, yes. I would say yes.
Okay. Now, Ariel, you had a pretty controversial opinion as you and I were engaged in a discussion over Facebook Messenger. Now, this might be our first really contentious moment on this show. Ariel, would you like to tell us what you think about when you think about Coffee Crisp?
Ever since I was a kid, Coffee Crisp makes me think of like an older substitute teacher who smokes and has it on her bricks.
So not even a full-time teacher, a substitute teacher who goes out for a cigarette. Now, are they smoking the cigarette while eating a Coffee Crisp, or does it come in a 1-2 punch?
I think it's at the same time because they're busy, right? They're in between recess and their next class. Yeah.
And they might not know when they're going to work ever again. Monika, the floor is yours. The floor is yours. This is very polite. On this show, politeness is impolite.
Well, it's funny, Ariel saying that, I was like, that was their commercial. It was little old lady saying, "How'd you like your coffee?" And the other one would be like, "Chris."
Oh, it's true.
So I was like, yeah, that's totally old ladies are the.
That's true.
Okay, so look, I want to touch on this. Is it fair for us to agree that Coffee Crisp, even as a kid, was more of a grown-up bar? Dimitri, what do you think about that?
No question. Old people love Coffee Crisp. I was around like my grandma really liked Coffee Crisp. I love Coffee Crisp. I think it's one of my tops. But
As a kid?
Even as a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, but I definitely picked it up for my grandma. I'm not sure what it is, but I think there's some truth to that.
All right, Jess Fildes, let's go to you. Coffee Crisp, do you agree that it's an old person's chocolate?
Yes. It was also the chocolate that I always ate last.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
So this is where we might be aligned. Now, Ariel, did you like coffee crisp as a young person?
No, I really thought that it was for adults.
What about
Like, I
now?
never
What
ate
about
it.
now?
If it's around, I'll eat it, but I will never buy it.
Okay, now this is going to be another controversial opinion. Coffee crisp might be my least favorite of the bars. I think that the flavor is not particularly that coffee infused, and I also think it's one of the cheaper texture of bars. It's wafer. It's like, yeah, to me, it's a no-go. Not only will I not eat it last, I will outright decline a crisp. Now, Monika, you and I have always gotten along. Does this change the way you look at me?
No, I look at you and go, that would be great because then we could trade.
Oh.
Like, I'll take your coffee crisps and let's see what I got that you can have.
Okay, so on the subject that we kind of spawned off into with this crisp conversation, which were our number ones as young trick-or-treaters? Dimitri, let's go to you.
Number one treats?
Yeah, specifically chocolate. We don't want to break the rules and get
Okay.
another angry letter.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
you're
we wouldn't want
you're
that.
a young person. You're walking down the street.
Okay,
You're
so-
dressed up.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what. I used to get at it real quick. This is being the trick-or-treating route. And it was quite popular in my neighborhood. So I would get at it quick because I wanted to get home and watch some movies. So we'd be like, let's get this done. Let's go get our chocolate bars and let's get going. Now, this wasn't just for the movies. This also benefited us in our quality of chocolate bar. And the reason for that is down the street, these people would be serving these like 12-inch Mr. Big bars to the first couple of dozen kids that would come by. So I'm going there getting the extra large size Mr. Bigs. And they were always my favorite for that very reason. Because, again, these people were getting very cheap. They knew a lot of kids were coming by. And I was making bank on being one of the first people at that place.
Now, I will say this. As a kid, I did not like Mr. Big. As a grown-up, Mr. Big is an all-time chocolate bar.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's got crunch, which you're going to hear me say a lot tonight.
Yeah.
I like Coffee Crisp, but I like crunch more. It has to have a crunch to it. It's extremely important to me. It could be whatever. I don't care what it is. It could have chocolate, some peanuts. It could have a little bit of brittle in it, maybe toffee. But if it has a crunch...
A score bar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It just has to have a crunch to it. And honestly, it melts me. It completely melts me.
Now, this, I'm already feeling slightly nervous. This is going to be a 2-hour extravaganza tonight. Now, Jess, let's go to you. As a kid, which was your, oh my God, I just got a bunch of these?
Reese's peanut butter cups.
Okay, so Reese's Peanut Butter Cups is one of those sweet treats that everyone likes. Now, they are smaller now. We agree?
Yeah, they are.
All right. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
I would
Monika,
argue
please.
they're not a chocolate bar.
Okay, but let's put this out there. Tonight is Choctober.
But I love them. I'm just saying.
It is, Monika is correct. It is not a chocolate bar. Now, as Jess was saying Reese's, I had the same instinct because I thought this is either going to be the cups or the pieces. And I thought to myself, hold on, this is not chocolate bar night. This is Choctober. You could have said chocolate chips, right? Who wouldn't want someone to just drop a bunch of loose chocolate chips into their pail? Ariel, let's go to you. As a kid, you're number one on Halloween night.
Okay, it was the same as Jess, but you also just said the cup and the pieces, and this is one of my current faves. Do we know that this exists?
Oh, the fusion. The
Wow.
fusion.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Now,
Just
see, I see
saying.
that, I go, too decadent for me. That's a
No.
little too extreme. That's like people who put like chicken fingers and onion rings and poutine on a burger. It's like I'm a classy guy that likes the classic treats.
Can I-
Dimitri, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I want to ask a question here. So you know how some people, and I'm sure this is going to come up tonight, so I'm sorry for jumping the gun here, but you know how some people take an arrow and they put it on their tongue, and you're supposed to just let it melt and you get the pops, right? Have you ever heard about this?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, James has heard about this. Anyway, this is a technique for eating arrows, but I've never done it. I've tried to do it, actually. That's not true. And I didn't
Who's got the
experience it.
time?
I just want to eat the goddamn bar. Now I did know a guy who used to take the Reese's cups, put them in his mouth, and he wouldn't eat them right away like a normal person. He just suck on them for a little while and let them melt in his mouth.
It's not a hard candy.
I know.
That's a big mouth.
Yeah, especially in the old days when they were bigger. This guy has just got a mouthful of melted chocolate and peanut butter.
And
what was the name of this man?
I think his name is Ethan. And he used to do this. And then you know what he'd do? You know, it'd be all melted in his mouth, and then he'd smile at me, and he'd push the chocolate through his teeth and give me like a dirty smile.
Oh, and he had awful teeth. Let's move on from there. Now, I'm curious to know, because we've talked about this a little bit. We talked about it a little bit. Which was the least favorite that we would find in the bag or the pail? Monika, the floor is yours.
Well, before that, I just want to say that I'll just chime in on your last question.
Oh, my mistake. See, I thought it was the coffee crisp. I'm sorry, Monika.
No, it's okay. I think you're right that I said that. But as a kid, I was also very excited about Mr. Big bars. And there was also a house a block over that served the big ones. And so I'd go there and get the big Mr. Big.
Wow.
Now, the Mr. Big, again, as I mentioned, to me, might be on my Mount Rushmore of bars. I want to circle, because we will touch on that later on, the chocolate-based items we would get at Halloween that would be like, I don't think I'm interested in this. Ariel, we're going to go to you first.
You know what it was? It was like someone who, maybe because they didn't have the means, but they bought like really cheap pharmacy chocolate.
Now, this is an all-time answer. I had not considered this, and I would say that as the years have gone on, Dollarama chocolate, aka soap chocolate, it's like it's a powder. It's like there's a white powder on it. Yeah. So you're saying poor people giving out chocolate, Ariel, is what you're saying.
I'm just saying the bad quality chocolate, like that you said, that has this white film on it that feels like a year old.
Okay, so yeah, you're saying basically no name chocolate.
Yeah.
All right, that's a great answer. Jess, we're gonna go to you. Your least favorite.
I think those like loony dollars.
Ooh, more cheap chocolate.
Yeah. Those were never fun when someone would surprise you with those.
All right, Monika, let's go to you.
Crunchy.
Oh, okay, now hold on. Now this is for people who might be confused. Now there's the Crunch Bar and there's the Crunchy. You're talking about the sponge taffy wrapped in chocolate.
Yeah, and it's like a gold wrapper, and I think it was orange letters saying.
Now this is oftentimes a widely unpopular bar. Outside of it getting caught in my teeth, I got to tell you, I like it. I like a Crunchy.
Quite love it.
The taste, I don't know. I don't like it. It's like, I don't know. I'm like, what is this inside? It's not toffee to me. It's not chocolate. There's not peanuts. What is it? I don't know.
I'll tell you what it is.
I can't place it. And
I'll tell you what it is. It's a treat. Let's go to you, Dimitri. It sounds like you agree with Monika. I'm going to put this out there right now. I'm fired up.
I agree with Monika, but I tell you, I got a real problem with this one piece of chocolate that I'm about to talk about. I'm putting it up on screen right now. It's a cherry blossom.
Ooh. Yes.
I see one of these fucking things dropping in my goddamn Halloween basket.
Are you turning Italian on this show right now?
I get a real problem with this. It's all goopy.
Wait, hold on. You get a real problem?
I get a real problem with this. It drops in my pail. The goop, it's already busted. The goop is coming out.
No, I want to interject here. I take umbrage in this because anyone who knows that a cherry blossom is one of the toughest chocolates. It's like eating an apple.
You're telling me. And then I get in there and it's this sour, goopy mess that's like, it's like a maraschino cherry, but it's been like already in somebody's mouth. It's the worst chocolate on the planet. And always when you get the cherry blossom, it's always been crushed. I always feel like it's been in a little toddler's hand already or something like that.
Okay, now I want to jump in on this. It sounds like, because I don't like a cherry blossom either, there's kind of the peanut crumble. Is this the first time that we are collectively agreeing the cherry blossom, no thank you?
I have an observation. I don't know if anyone shares this. You know, when you go to like, I'm totally dating myself. Back in the day, and I'd go to pick up the VHS video to watch on a Friday night. And there was always one that I never rented or picked up, but it's just the cover I always saw. And it's like, what is that movie? And I think for me, it was like, oh God, I can't remember. It has the name Mississippi in it. And then there was even a horror one where there's the wolf mouth coming out of the mouth. Anyway, those were two that I just always saw. The cherry blossom is that candy for me. Never bought it, never tasted it, but I always see it on the shelf in the store. And I'm like,
because
I
nobody
don't know
buys
about
it.
that.
So this is what we have to do, Monika. We have to
Yes.
have you back where you do a cherry blossom taste test.
Oh,
And
yeah.
spoiler, you won't like it. Now, here's the thing about the cherry blossom. What do we feel about the ones that you maybe get at Christmas time in a box of maybe like the pot of gold, right? Where it's the chocolate is not as thick. There's just a cherry on the inside. Those I quite like.
Oh my God. You know the box of the sea chocolate that everybody gets? They're always shaped like shells. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Milk chocolate and white chocolate together.
Oh, and they look like you get seahorses, you get some shells, some clams, some oysters in there.
Good.
Those are gotta be some of the best chocolates I've ever had in my life.
Dimitri, I feel like we are.
I'm going to establish that
twins.
Dimitri has now become
Chocolate
Greek.
twins.
He has embraced his Greekness after becoming Italian for a moment.
And he's a praline man, we just found out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Chocolate twin, Dimitri, same taste.
Yeah.
Now, these are all very good picks for the worst. I don't know if these are toppable, but we brought up the Arrow earlier. Now, I don't like Arrow, but I'll tell you this much. I like its direct competitor, the counterpart, the Mirage Bar. I think the chocolate tastes better. It's thicker. It's a little crumblier. The Mirage, I think, outdoes the Arrow. Jess, I want to go to you.
I don't think I've ever had a Mirage bar.
I don't think I have either.
I've had
It's just a mirage.
Also, the Mirage bars are never, ever made in small format. I think that's telling.
Now, hold on now.
Yeah.
Dimitri, I want you to do a quick research. I want you to search mini format Mirage bars.
mini format Mirage bar. Okay.
Just saying, I've never seen them.
Okay. We're going to see. So far, I think the picks for the worst are truly outstanding. The two that really stand out to me are the loony chocolates, which are often around during the holidays as well.
It's on screen right now. It comes in a little pack. They come in bits.
Okay, yeah, they come in bits, but I wonder if you can get them around Halloween. Now, I like a Mirage bar. I think the chocolate is better. I want to move on to this one. In your opinion, the most underrated chocolate treats or chocolate bars, which do not get the respect that they deserve? Take a second to think about this, because this is a tough one. As you're thinking, folks, remember, we will be back this coming Monday right here, 9 p.m. Who's going to be here? Dave Kaufman. Kathy Fagan is back to tell us about things that are scary cool. That's this upcoming Monday. Let's circle back to the topic at hand. Jess, I want to go back to you. Underrated chocolate.
So I'm not sure if it's underrated or not. But
Underrated, underappreciated, anything.
I'm thinking maybe the Mars bar.
I love a Mars bar.
I get it.
Smooth, creamy,
Yeah.
little.
Yeah.
Is it underappreciated? I don't know.
No.
I'm not willing to go down that road.
I feel like it's not one that people will often like search out, but when they have it, it's great.
So this is what we're going to do here, because there's a lot of bars to get through tonight. I want us with this one. We go as fast as furious. I'm going to throw the Three Musketeers into the mix.
Oh, yeah.
That whipped nougat inside. Now, Ariel, you don't like it.
Never had it.
Never had it. Okay.
Never had it either.
Monika, let's go to you. Underrated, underappreciated, underloved.
Well, I can only speak from my own personal experience, and for me, it's Smarties, because I always forget.
Wait. You don't like Smarties?
Why
like
would you?
Smarties,
I'll tell you what.
but I forget about
Smarties are to chocolate what the Maine is to smoked meat. Why would you go to the Maine when you got Schwartz across the street? Why would you pick up a box of Smarties when you can have an M&M?
All I have to say is, I have another one that came to me. But first, to finish the Smartie, it's one that I never buy. But again, when there's treats around, like at an office, I'm always like surprised when I'm like, oh, I like these. But it's not something I ever think of. But the other one that just came to me is Junior Mints.
A Junior Mint, any type of mint chocolate combination, a peppermint patty. So here's a life hack. During the holidays, you go to the Dollarama, their peppermint patties That is, I put my hand over my heart and I promised I wouldn't talk about Christmas tonight, but this is a chocolate episode. Peppermint patties, a holiday treat, good any time of the year. We got the Junior Mint, smooth, it's creamy. Dimitri, we go to you.
Okay, honorable mention to After Eight.
Oh, I was just thinking that.
It's wow. Keep these things in the fridge. They're cold. They're pepperminty. They're a nice digestive after you've had a thick,
what was that now?
A nice digestive after you've had a thick, hearty meal. But the real winner, and I see it in the chat here, I've been thinking about it all day long, and it's an underrated and long forgotten, in my opinion. Whatever happened to the Terry's chocolate
Now
orange?
we're talking about the holidays
no,
again here.
it's here.
Where is it?
So
I buy it every year.
I want to touch on this because Thomas Barnwell, friend of the show, a legendary figure on the show, he has not only mentioned the Terry's chocolate orange, but he has also mentioned
I don't like
the
that.
Chunky. Now, the Chunky is basically a cube of chocolate that features raisins, which is going to be a controversial topic. So I'm going to throw glossettes into the mix. A Chunky, which people know about because of Seinfeld. I know the Chunky that ate this Chunky. I'm throwing glossettes in there. But of course, Ariel, we've glossed over you. Underrated chocolate treat.
Oh, I'd say Wonder Bar. Because
Oh,
I always
Wonder-
forget it exists, but then when I have it, I'm like, shit.
Now, the Wonder Bar is Canada's answer
To the Butterfinger.
To the Butterfinger. I prefer the one. Butterfinger gets caught in my teeth a little bit too much.
Exactly. Same.
Okay, now I'm throwing glossettes into the mix as underrated, but I'm going to throw something, I was going to end the show with this. For years and years, when we would talk about chocolate, the question would come up, James, what is your favorite chocolate bar? There was one night I was sitting at a table with Dimitri, a variety of people who appear on this show. There's Ray Maitland, there's Jason Grimmer, you name them, they were there. Each one of these people for a half hour trying to pick my favorite chocolate bar. And it also fits into this category of underrated. To me, the number one chocolate bar, the Big Turk.
I was just gonna say the Big Turk.
The Big Turk.
Never heard of it.
That's
Big
pretty
Turk is
controversial.
Turkish Delight, which is a jelly wrapped in chocolate. One of the most unpopular bars of all time.
I got a real beef with this pick.
Yeah, okay, so everyone gets one beef for the night.
I got a real fucking beef with this pick, and I apologize for cussing, but it's deserved. This thing is more.
Look, I don't have a problem with you saying the F word. I have a problem with you saying cussing instead of cursing. Continue, and that's my beef of the night. I'm done.
You and I are done. Listen, my real issue with this is it's more Turkish Delight than it is chocolate. It's a very thin layer over the Turkish Delight. I'd go so far to call this a candy bar than a chocolate bar. Oh, I'm being arrested.
It's got chocolate on it. It's no different than a glossette. We talked about the crunchy bar. It's the same difference.
No, I got to.
Jess, we're gonna go to you.
One of the best parts of a Turkish Delight is like the powdery stuff on the outside of it, and you don't get that in a Big Turk bar.
There you go.
You want chocolate powder and Turkish Delight?
Yes, I do.
So, Monika, you haven't had a Turkish Delight.
Or a Turk bar. Never heard of
I'm
it.
going to bring you a Big Turk. Now, here's the thing. A fresh Big Turk, it's like biting into a cloud that tastes like cherry. Mamma mia. Ariel, thoughts on the thoughts on the Big Turk?
Listen, I've never had one because the wrapping looks cheap. It's led me astray that it would
And
be
I'll tell you
gross.
what, it's very thin wrapping. It is cheap. But the taste is unforgettable, either if you like it or you don't like it.
There was also a span of time where it was like really hard to find.
Oh, they are as elusive as Loch Ness Monster.
But this is a good topic. Has anyone ever mailed chocolate bars to their family, like in the States, who can't get them?
Oh, mailed chocolate bars.
Yeah. I have.
Sounds like something a serial killer would do.
Me. I've mailed Smarties and Crunchy because you can't get them in the States. And Kinder Eggs.
Oh, well, Kinder Eggs, yeah, I mean, they're fine. Any opinions on a Kinder Egg? We've moved into a different holiday now. This is an Easter chocolate. Now when you want to talk about Easter chocolate, the Cadbury cream egg.
That's mine. I like that one.
It's too sweet.
I love it.
Now on my, I'm seeing shake. This shocks me. Dimitri and Jess, not a fan of the CCE. Jess, talk to me about it.
The texture on the inside turns me off so much.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It makes me feel nauseated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Very sweet.
it's like a whipped old semen.
Ugh.
With
Dimitri,
some
let's go to
yellow
you.
staining.
Yeah.
It's not translucent.
It's almost like gum that's disintegrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Dimitri, let's go to you. You're disgusted by my statement. I stand by it.
I think it's sick. And I'll tell you why. I once saw this guy, okay, and I swear to God, I saw this guy. He picks up the cream egg. He takes a bite off the top to open it up to get to the center.
Yeah.
Spits the top off, sucks out the inside like a goddamn
Wait, he
oyster.
spit the top? He spit the top.
Yeah, and then he spit the rest out. He just wanted the cream inside, which is arguably...
This guy ate it like an oyster.
This guy sucked out the center like a goddamn oyster, and he threw out the rest like it was trash. And I was disgusted
now, as a
ever
cat
since.
walks by in this screen, that's bad luck on Halloween. I want to continue on this topic of underrated or underappreciated chocolates because I feel like there's more to discover here. Ariel, what about you?
I said it, didn't I?
Yeah, but I want
Wonder
more.
Bar. I don't have another one. I don't have another one.
You don't have another one.
Underappreciated? No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to continue this because I feel like we've got some more hidden gems. Jess, Dimitri, Monika, the floor is yours.
I have one I like, but it's probably controversial.
Ooh, this is what this is about.
Because I think it's probably pretty cheap, and it's usually at Christmas when there'd be like usually foil wrapped Santas or reindeer, and it's marshmallow covered in chocolate, and I just love those.
Ooh, now that falls into the category of cheap chocolate.
Like the Russell Stovers? No,
Really
is that what it's called?
Russell Stovers are synonymous with Pharmaprix now.
Yeah, but that's what she's talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find those at the Dollarama too. Now it feels like there's a collective agreement.
I'm alone in this.
Yeah, but look, we're talking, these are underappreciated, right? Now I want to talk about this. The chocolate inside of an advent calendar. Jess, the floor is yours.
I love the chocolate inside of an advent calendar. I'm all for it.
I think
Dimitri?
they pour, oh, go ahead.
No.
I think they pour from the chocolate coins, they then pour into the advent calendar.
Now it depends where you get them. So this is where I'm going to veer off into something that I'm sure we can all collectively agree with. You can get bad advent calendars, or you can get the Lindor calendars. Now, Lindor is the most, I would say, widely respected chocolate. Monika, you're shaking your head, and I am curious.
I used to appreciate Lindor, but I think they're overrated.
Okay. So now this can lead us in later on to the most overrated bars. I like those Lindor chocolate balls.
Mm-hmm.
A couple Christmases ago, Dimitri, I believe it was you who bought me 75 chocolate balls after I had already consumed 35, courtesy of Connor Rose's twin sister. I have yet to be able to get back into them, although I do still appreciate them.
You're welcome.
What flavor is your favorite?
You know what? That is very difficult. I feel like there's so many, like, you know, the sea salt one. There was a strawberry one that I loved.
Pistachio is amazing.
That's an old person one.
No, but it's good.
I like
The
it.
sea salt one is my favorite.
Which one?
The sea salt.
I like a Bailey's.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, Monika, you brought up the idea of overrated chocolates. Now, this might bring up a couple more beef of the night. I got a beef, so remember, Ariel, Monika, and Jess, you still have yours. Dimitri used it on my chocolate bar, and I used it on his use of the word cuss. So I improperly used mine. It's out and unable to return. Overrated bars. Ariel, overrated bars.
I don't know. I don't know.
Hell of an answer. Jess, let's go to you.
I'm thinking like a Hershey's milk chocolate bar.
So just a standard milk chocolate bar. You say overrated. I say I'm not sure if it's even that rated.
Yeah.
Dimitri?
Over or underrated?
Over.
Overrated? I'm gonna go with something that maybe a lot of people are gonna give me angry emails about. A Ferrero Rocher ball.
Ooh, it's a great choice.
It's everywhere, and everyone goes, well, this is the tip of decadence. It doesn't get better than this. And I'm so tired of it.
That's
now,
how I feel about Lindor.
We're going to go to a couple things. Dimitri, I agree. I do believe a Ferrero Rocher to be overrated. You also use the term the tip of decadence, which Andy Asaf has been known to use, but not in the context of Ferrero Rochers. Jess, let's go
beef
to you.
of the night. Hold on.
Sorry. I don't have like a beef with Ferrero Rocher as a suggestion, but I have a story or a little anecdote.
Mhm.
I used to love, I still do, the movie Matilda, and the part with the chocolates where she would say like one for me and one for you or whatever, or like kids don't get chocolates or whatever. I used to always go into the Ferrero Rochers and I would pretend I was in the movie Matilda and I would eat those chocolates.
Now, what about the scene with the portly young man with chocolate all over his face?
Also a fun scene.
Monika, you had a thought as well.
I don't think so. I think it's the Lindor for me.
Okay, now that's a controversial one.
Yeah,
Ariel, we're going to circle back to you. You've had plenty of time to think about it. An overrated chocolate bar.
Can I say like a holiday box of chocolates?
Of course you can. That is a chocolate. Now, are you talking specifically about the classic pot of gold?
Yeah, super overrated. I don't know why people still give out that stuff.
Okay, so I want to interject here. Is it possible that it's overrated, or is it more so that people don't really love those chocolates as much as it is a simple gift?
Yeah, but like go out of your way, spend $2 more and get like a Laura Secord box. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you're saying that people could go the extra mile to give a better quality chocolate treat.
Yeah.
All right, now Thomas Barnwell is coming in, and this probably is in response to Dimitri's blasting of a Ferrero Rocher. He says, if you can buy them at Canadian Tire, they're not decadent.
Very true.
I agree. But they have this air of they think they're better than us. Don't you agree that something about Ferrero Rocher? You've seen the commercials, right? Where it's all just like, it's very, like, I don't know, it's like the chocolate's coming out of a Maserati.
Hold on. The chocolate's coming out of a Maserati.
Yeah, you know, the chocolate opens the Maserati and then a beautiful woman walks out onto a red carpet with the Ferrero Rocher. And then the dressing of the Ferrero Rocher comes off. And then a bunch of paparazzi starts flashing photos at the Ferrero Rocher ball.
Can I add another one?
Yes.
I like it, but I think it might be overrated. A Toblerone bar.
Ooh, a Toblerone bar.
I say overrated because I remember when we used to only be able to get it at the airport. And it was like the big fancy airport chocolate.
Okay, now what do we think about a Toblerone? Again, much like the Cherry Blossom, one of the thicker, tougher chocolates.
I like the Toblerone.
Not fun to eat ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
You use a knife. You have to cut it with a knife.
A knife?
Well, like if you want a smaller piece than the big honking one. If you're
What are you
talking
talking
about the
about?
big bar.
You take the Toblerone, right? Got all the little ridgies, and you do this. You do this.
But isn't there one like these people used to have the big Christmas one that was like a big piece?
There's the big Christmas one, but you can buy the little one. You don't have to just buy the big one.
I never bought the little one. I didn't know.
No, they suck. They suck, and I'll tell you why. The candy gets inside.
They suck.
They suck because they get inside your teeth. You know those little bits of candy that are in the Toblerone? Oh, it's awful.
Also, like, screw that packaging. Like, too snobby.
Yeah.
Like,
Ariel, a lot of things have come down to packaging with you. Now we understand why you didn't like the Dollarama chocolate. It often comes in a tin foil with a jack-o'-lantern's face or a little Santa Claus.
Yeah. Listen, I need quality and originality, but not too snobby.
I have a beef.
Jess.
Oh no.
I think I like the little Santa Claus Dollarama chocolates.
Oh,
Yes.
Ariel, are you using your beef of the night?
No.
All right. Well, look.
That's my beef of the night.
Wait, you can't use a beef of the night on the topic.
Because you were just saying that they're not great.
Okay, so you're using your beef of the night on me, reminding Ariel that she dislikes cheap chocolate. Okay, so once again, Ariel and Monika, you still have a beef of the night that you can use. Now, this one coming in from the chat, I'm curious to hear about this. What are people's stance on the caramel bar? For me, it is a 2 thumbs down.
I liked it as a kid.
I'm neutral. Like if it's there and there's nothing else, I'll have it.
Okay, so Ariel, it sounds like you're also not interested.
Just meh.
This sounds like the first time that we've collectively been in agreement about a chocolate treat tonight.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked about Halloween. We've talked about Christmas. We touched on Easter. You can't talk about chocolate without talking about Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Now, how do we feel about chocolate at Valentine's Day?
I like it.
Like it?
But it's like you should get something else, not just chocolate.
Yeah.
Now, what if it was a large quantity of chocolate?
Depends.
Okay, Monika, it depends on what?
For me, it's quality, not quantity. So I don't know. I you know, it's funny. Maybe it's a childhood thing, but like my parents would always get us, and maybe they're cheap. I don't know. I think you get with the drugstores like the little mesh bag of like red foil covered chocolate hearts.
Yeah.
I love those. I love
cheap
them.
chocolate. We've come to a consensus that aluminum covered chocolate is awful. But Ariel, it sounds like you like it.
It's
No,
different.
I
The
hate
Valentine's
it. I
Day
hate
ones are
those.
not the same as
No.
Christmas ones. They're
No.
better.
Yeah, Valentine's
I'm
Day
using my
chocolate sucks.
beef. They're
Okay, so
gross.
Dimitri, you say Valentine's Day chocolate sucks.
It sucks. Well, think about it.
A Hershey's Kiss?
Sucks. Oh, that's a Valentine's Day treat.
A Hershey's Kiss?
Is it really?
Yeah, the pink one.
Oh, I guess you're right. Nah, that sucks. That's on the cheap chocolate train for me. Now this is the thing. It's chocolate bar adjacent, but it's not at all. I would do chocolate strawberries before I would do anything chocolate Valentine's Day related.
Look, that counts, right? A chocolate covered fruit is chocolate. Again, from the chat right now, Thomas Barnwell is suggesting a chocolate bath.
No.
Has Thomas ever had a chocolate bath?
Well, we're about to find out because he's watching right now. So hold on, Jess. And this is for all of you, right? But Jess, we're going to start with you.
Yeah.
Let's just say a real stud muffin,
Oh.
right? Because I want you to come over tonight.
Yeah.
Because I got a surprise. Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And there's a trail of flowers of all kinds. It leads to the bathroom. And you got a bathtub. It's an old timey one with the claw feet, and it just got melted chocolate on the inside. Okay, so that's our answer. Monika, what about you? So let me take you through this.
Unsanitary.
Okay, but hold on.
Unsanitary.
Monika, let me paint the picture for you,
All
Monika.
right.
A real stud muffin invites you over for Valentine's Day.
It's
You
the same
open the
picture.
door. There's a flower trail, all the different flowers into the bathroom. It's
Like
a
the flowers.
clawfoot tub.
Yeah.
It's a bathtub full of melty chocolate.
Unsanitary. Where'd you get it? How much did this cost? Is it all over you? It's gonna get in cracks? I don't think so.
Oh, hey now. It's almost 10 o'clock. That means things are getting a little blue tonight. Now, Ariel, I want you to tell me finally,
Yeah.
a chocolate bath. Now, let's say your roommate, Dale Bernier, runs you a chocolate bath.
If he handed me an oversized ladle, I would get in.
What do you mean an oversized ladle?
Because a chocolate bath, that's insane. So if he handed me like a comically huge ladle and was like, I don't know, said something insane, I would get in.
Okay, so if he hands you a novelty ladle and quote, says something insane, we'll get in. Now, Dimitri, of course, This is not a sexist program. Let's say
Hold
a
on.
real stud muffin invites you over
Say it
for
again.
Valentine's
Wait,
Day.
start it again. Start it again.
Stud Muffin invites you over for Valentine's Day. Open the door. You got a trail of flowers leading into the bathroom. Claw feet. A tub filled with chocolate. What do you think?
I'd ask him if he better had a whole tub of fruit for that too, because that's the biggest fondue I've ever seen.
All right.
And I'd start with me as the fruit. I think it's the romance. I think it's something that I'd be shocked by, but something I would never see in my life, and I'd be absolutely very interested in the proposition of trying something I've never tried before.
It's a no for me, dog. I agree. I'm with Ariel,
Okay.
Monika, and Jess. Again, even an oversized ladle would not be enough to sway me into that tub of decadence.
We're just two different people, James.
We are. Now, as we begin to wind down, I want to hear about some of our favorite bars. Now, we've touched on it. I talked about the Big Turk is my number one. If you had to pick a number one, it could be something we've touched on already or something that we haven't touched on. What would it be? Bar, box, treat, melted. It's all good. Is someone opening a chocolate bar right now?
This is it. This is it. This is it.
Is
So
that
the-
yours?
Oh,
Really?
no, Ariel.
You beefing
Now,
against
Jess, hold
me?
on. You've already used your beef of the night. Monika, are you using your beef of the night?
Oh, I'm using my beef.
Yes.
Food and dairy milk, nuts and fruit. Bad packaging, Ariel. Bad packaging.
Yeah, Ariel. For someone who,
Shiny.
for someone who cares about packaging, now now, Dimitri. It sounds like you agree. You say no to the fruit and nut bar.
This bar sucks. This is
Ariel?
the worst.
Ariel,
It's the best. With a cup of tea, look, you can't beat it.
Ariel, I'm going to
tea.
say something here.
Old lady. Old lady.
What are you dipping
Now, Monika,
inside?
hold on. You've used your beef of the night already.
I want another beef.
Ariel, I have to say something.
What?
Dimitri, Jess, and Monika. I'm not with them. I love the fruit and nut bar.
No, James.
With a cup of tea?
Give me a cup of tea. Give me a cup of coffee.
Listen.
I'll tell you what. You give me a cup of tea, cup of coffee. Right here, I see Dimitri, Jess, and Monika. I see a cup of haters. So that's your number one. But again, that's a real old lady chocolate.
I'm
Jess,
owning
let's
it.
go to you.
Yeah.
Your number one, if you had to pick.
My number one, and I can't have it anymore because I'm vegan,
Just do
but
it.
it's a Camino milk chocolate bar with sea salt.
I wasn't aware that we had a millionaire on the show tonight.
Yeah.
What are we
Yeah.
looking?
This
You
is
said it
another
the
level.
This is like if you want a good chocolate bar. And I like to dip it in tea specifically or in coffee.
Now here's the thing. They make a real good that brown butter bar is very good. It's a butter flavored chocolate bar. They also do a great caramel one. But again, this is a whole new level. Monika, are you still going to lead with the coffee crisp?
You know, it's funny when you proposed the question, I was like, it really depends on my mood, where I
and
am.
I agree.
So there isn't really, there's like a few contenders. I'd say it's probably, if it's just, you know, me and a rack of chocolate bars, I'd probably reach for the coffee crisp or the O. Henry.
Now, the O. Henry, we did not touch on that tonight. In O. Henry, a great chocolate bar, dangerous if you've got brittle teeth.
Okay.
Dimitri, let's go to you. You've been one of the more fiery panelists tonight. And remember, Ariel, you still got your beef.
James, I'm a classic guy. I'm a simple guy. I'm a man of the earth, and that's where I'm going to go after I die. I'm a simple man when it comes to my tastes, and that's no exception to chocolate as well. There's one bar that I love through and throughout, and that chocolate bar is a Kit Kat. It'll never disappoint. It's got a great crunch. It's not too sweet, and you get 4 of them.
Give yourself a break.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Now, but I have to ask you, Dimitri, what about the Kit Kat Chunky, the full bar, or the stick?
It sucks. It sucks. It's taken everything that's good about the Kit Kat, and it's
The
getting
Kit Kat.
it's getting rid of it. It's getting rid
The
of it.
Kit Kat.
The best part of Kit Kat is breaking it apart and taking your time. What bar, by design, forces you to enjoy it slowly?
What about a Twix bar?
I love a Twix bar.
I love a Twix bar.
Ooh, delicious.
I
Also
because
good.
it's got that crunch factor.
So this sounds like the first time that we have collectively agreed. Again, a classic would be on most people's Rushmore. A Twix bar is great. As we begin to wind down, would we like to bring up bars that have yet to be mentioned? Honorable mentions.
Yeah, I'd like to bring up James the Nut Bar.
Oh,
Oh, that is like all nuts and gross stuff.
Yeah, like a trail mix with a little bit of chocolate on it. What are those
Yeah,
called?
yeah, what's that
was that a
called?
Kilimanjaro mix?
Oh, that's not
Now,
what it is.
let's continue. Yeah, the bars that have yet to be mentioned.
Like a protein
Or the
bar.
treats.
I have an honorable mention is the Snickers. I've enjoyed them from time to time.
You're hungry? Get a Snickers. That's great. Coming in from the chat, Thomas Barnwell, we got a Payday. Now that's one of those real American bars. I'm also going to throw one in. I think it's the 100 Grand bar, which is chocolate, caramel, and Crispies. That's a great one.
What about a Zero?
Ooh, a chili bar.
Delicious in the freezer.
Yeah.
So I shat on
What?
milk chocolate bar, but I do like a Hershey's cookies and cream bar.
Now, this is one of the more over-the-top bars. Very sweet. I mentioned this to Ariel off air. I loved it as a kid. I can no longer do it.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to throw this one out there. We talked about the crunchy. What about the Crunch bar? Simple and tasty. Little snap. I like it.
It's good.
I like it.
It's good. Great crunch. We didn't talk about it before, but I got excited because I thought we were gonna, and then we didn't. So I'm bringing it up now. The mint arrow.
Ooh,
Now,
good.
We did not talk about the variants on the arrow. There's also the orange one that is also quite good.
Yes, I prefer the mint.
I like the mint.
I prefer the mint.
It's
All
great.
right. Do we have any other honorable mentions?
Crispy Crunch I've enjoyed from time to time.
A crispy crunch. Delicious.
I have
Again, gets caught in your teeth.
But peanut buttery, I like that.
That's true. Jess?
I have a beef.
Wait, you used your beef.
You can use my beef, Jess. You can use my beef.
Hold on, I have to check in. Are we able to trade beefs?
We can trade the beefs.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
think.
this is true. We can trade the beef.
Yes, thank you. I don't think I like mint chocolate.
Oh no, I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back.
Hold on, I want to see if we can do that.
It's too late.
Ariel, you can take your beef back. So, Jess, that comment that you just expressed has been stricken. This is going to be scrubbed from the show.
Null and void.
Null and void. You had the opportunity to use your beef earlier on, as we all collectively agreed on the tastiness of mint and chocolate.
You don't like an after 8?
No.
Now, this one's coming in from the chat as well. How do people feel about the Mounds or the Almond Joy, the coconut chocolate? I like a Mounds bar.
Never had.
I like coconut and chocolate.
No, I do
What's
not.
the
want
one that has the tropical island on it?
That's the Mounds bar.
Oh, that's the mounds. Okay.
Yeah, or otherwise known as the Bounty,
Yes.
the Canadian counterpart.
Yes.
I have a question for the party. What do we feel about these bars? You get them 2 for $5. They're at every grocery store. It's the Lindt bars, but they come in all these interesting flavors. I feel like this has become the go-to chocolate bar when you're like, honey, we need a snack for dinner. Okay, let's just grab one of these bars. You know what I'm talking about?
The chocolate bar for the people that are with special friends. I happen to like the Lindt Black Currant bar.
Oh.
Okay, I like the spicy pepper or the coconut.
I like the caramel.
Jess, you're probably going to go.
Lindt.
Yeah, we know Monika's opinion on Lindt. Jess, you'd probably go with the sea salt.
I probably, but I don't think I've ever had Lindt in bar form.
Well, here's the thing. We have to touch on this. Jess, you're no longer eating any of these items.
No, I'm not.
No.
And this is and
I
it's
have a
because-
beef with Jess. She shouldn't have been on this program.
Oh my goodness. Oh!
I mean, she's
Wait,
not
hold
eating
on. I'm
them.
getting word here.
Biggest beef of the night.
Ariel, you have not only have you used your beef of the night, but that is apparently the 100% beef of the night.
Yeah.
I feel like you've just stabbed me in the back.
Oh, you say that as you hold your chest.
Yeah, the knife went through my chest.
Now, as we really begin to wind down, I feel that it's only appropriate that in the coming weeks, because of course, this Halloween thing, there's only going to be another 30 days of this. And then we get, for the most part, a month and a half, if not more, of holiday joy. I feel like this is the panel to discuss treats and delicacies. Mm-hmm. So I feel that we need to make, in the spirit of Halloween, right now, a death pact.
What?
To come back on the air to do this all over again with a brand new topic, if not Choctober Part 2.
Right.
I'm down.
I'm down.
I'll do anything.
Right, we have to put our hands in.
Are we doing the Ouija board?
No, we just got to put your hand in like it's a monkey's paw. Dimitri, we need the monkey's paw.
What do you? My palm?
Yeah, look at all of us. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, one of us. Yeah, like spiders. Now we wiggle our fingers. Guys, I thank you so much for being on tonight's show. We're going to be waving to the audience all together. For Dimitri Kyres, for Jess Fildes, Ariel De Roo, and Monika Schneider, I am James. You are you. We were here. Good night. Goodbye. Farewell. Be well. And prepare for spooky season.